YouTube vinyl community, David Bowie fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about David Bowie's 1973 covers album, Pinups. Yeah. First thing you'll notice on this cover, I left the price stickers on because how often do you find a new record for 15 bucks anymore? I mean, that was an awesome find when I got this. This is the reissue. I mean, 15 bucks? You can't beat that. Bowie's Pinups album came out in 1973, like right peak prime time Bowie here. And, this is right after Ziggy Stardust, right after Aladdin Sane. He was just on a roll. And the whole point of this album was to introduce American audiences to songs that he loved in the mid-60s and the London scene. So, the Yardbirds, the Who, the Mojos, the Pretty Things, the the Kinks, they're all on here. So, it's an awesome, awesome album. On the cover, you got Twiggy with him, and this picture was actually taken for Vogue magazine, and Bowie was like, hey, I think I want to use that for my cover instead. I wish I could do a good Bowie voice. I really can't do it. Love Bowie. Let's just jump right into this thing. So, his usual gang is on this one. Everybody from Mick Ronson to Mike Garson, Trevor Bolder, the whole Ziggy Stardust era is still here. Musically anyway, before things started to change into the Diamond Dogs range. But at this point, he was just calling himself Bowie. It wasn't even David Bowie anymore. It's just Bowie. The first song, Rosalind by the Pretty Things. This is an excellent, excellent, really visceral, in-your-face rocker. Bowie's got this really sly growl going on. It really bites over this like really moving groover of a song. Fast-paced, up-tempo, excellent opener. The Pretty Things, I think, are a super underrated British band from the 60s. I particularly like their earlier stuff better than, like, the SF Sorrow stuff. I've been trying with that album for years, and nothing's gelling, but Rosalind is an excellent cover. It flows right into the next track, Here Comes the Night, which is a song by them, and I absolutely adore his version here. His vocal on this one is very dramatic and sweet. It's really buoyant and full of joy, and there's this explosion of yas during the choruses, and really high energy, really soulful, really loose, really rocking. Excellent, excellent cover. I Wish You Would by the Yardbirds is the next song, and this one, the drums just thunder in, the guitar just stabs through the speakers, the guitars get louder, the rhythm changes, Bowie does really cool vocal effects to his voice, which add lots of dimension and character. The overall thrill of this song is like, they probably did this in a couple of takes and they were like, yep, that's it, we got it, we're good, move on, next song. See Emily Play by Pink Floyd. I really like this version because the guitars on his version are a little more heavy, kind of a more heavier riff. Whereas Pink Floyd's version when it came out wasn't as heavy. Still good. But this cover, the choruses kind of go into this like Looney Tunes vibe for me. Like I just imagine like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck running around singing this chorus because there's like, there is no other ways, and then these crazy high-pitched voices. Yeah, it's off-kilter drums. It's just really trippy, really psychedelic, and then there's this jam for the outro that lasts for a long time. It ends on some very nice strings before busting through Everything's Alright by the Mojos, which has this like 50s Riot and Cell Block 9 type of guitar riff. There's lots of the bell on the cymbals been used a lot, and Bowie's 50s vocal expression is in full front on this one, and the build-up to the verses is very fun to listen to. You can tell they were having a really good time on this one. It just sounds like a damn good time, and that they came into this project without like a monkey on their back of like, well, we gotta get this done, we gotta get this like really important album out. It's like, nope, we're gonna go have fun and record some songs together. Excellent standout track for me. That's probably one of my favorite ones on this album. And side one closes with Can't Explain, The Who's first single, as The Who. As The Who. Really gritty, sludgy, sax-drenched, cool version of this song. Bowie's vocals really, to me, sound a lot like Mark Bolan's on this one. Very, very much in that glam tradition. And I feel like the saxophone gives it a little bit of a soul vibe, then the solo gives it a bluesy vibe. So it's a nice take, kind of a fresh approach on a song that's been done to death. Side 2 starts off with the Easy Beats, Friday on My Mind. One of my favorite songs since I was a kid. I absolutely love the Easy Beats version of this song. And Bowie's version is cool because I almost get like an early punk feel on this one. I get like a really snotty approach to this. Like his vocals are just kind of like, yeah, I'll sing this song. All right, let's do it. And it's cool because in the original song during the choruses, it just plows like. His version takes like a groove approach first and then gets into the heavier parts, which I love how that feels hearing it. Really, really works. And then it gets into this like frantic rush at the end and the last bit of the chorus. Great track, fun stuff. Sorrow. This is a song by the Merseys, and apparently a lot of bands covered this one back in the 60s, but I really enjoy the placement of the song on this album because for the most part, you've just been hammered over the head to death with heavy riffs, which is great, not complaining. Sorrow comes in, and Bowie's got like this confidence and a tenderness to his voice, and that plays really well with like the really concentrated musicality that's going on. I feel like this track is a little more calculated. They're following a bit more of a roadmap. Whereas the rest of the album sounds like just 4 or 5 guys hanging out, banging out some songs. This one sounds like a little more thought was put into it in terms of like a construction and knowing who's going to play what, where they're going to play. A little more calculated, but it's a welcomed addition to this album because I feel like that kind of gives you a break from the overall sweatiness that you've encountered so far in this album. Very good, pleasant breather. Another Pretty Things song comes up with Don't Bring Me Down, and it sounds like the Pretty Things, that British blues, heavy shaker in the background kind of thing. Again, if you don't know the Pretty Things, go check them out. Their first couple of albums are awesome. The Yardbirds, Shape of Things. This song to me has like a classic early Bowie vocal. You get a lot of that Ziggy vibe on this one, which he wasn't doing Ziggy anymore at this point, but that vocal really comes out, that really stretched, elongated thing that he does really well, which is kind of absent on a number of these songs, whereas on other albums that was like his thing. Kind of comes out to play on this one, and this isn't my favorite song on the album by far. It's probably one of my least favorite ones. But I do like the reverse echo they use on his voice. I think that's pretty cool. The last 2 songs are back to The Who with Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere, and this version pretty much follows pretty closely to the original Who version. Not a whole lot of ground that's new for this one, but still fun to listen to. And the last one, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? It's no Van Halen, but it's very good. It again follows really closely to the original, and I think it's a fitting ending to this song. Nice heavy rock riffs, and the tone of the guitar on this one sounds eerily just like the Kinks version. I don't know how they did that, but it sounds just like it. So, a lot of fun. This is a really quick album. There's not a whole lot to it. And it was meant for American audiences to kind of discover some of these British artists that Bowie adored, in the middle 60s. So, here's the back cover, some great shots of him there. And he hand-wrote a thing here, so I'll read it to you. These songs are among my favorites from the 64 to 67 period of London. Most of the groups were playing the Ricky-Tack, Was It a Y or an I? Scene, Club, Circuit. Marquee, Eel Pie, Island, La La. Some are still with us. Pretty Things, Them, Yardbirds, Sid's Pink Floyd, Mojos, Who, Easy Beats, Merseys, Kinks, Love Anya, Bowie. And they, for this reissue, they recreated the original sleeve, which is cool. So it's got the players, and then this side has the lyrics to Where Have All the Good Times Gone, which I thought was kind of cool. Like one song got picked as the special one to have the lyrics printed. And the record itself is, very nice, high quality, 180 gram vinyl. And the labels are cool. So where you can't really see that too well, it's kind of blinding. Where they originally said RCA, they wrote Bowie instead, which I think is very cool to see that. Kind of makes the whole record its own unique little package. So, overall, I really do like this album. I don't play it as much as some of his other ones. It's not really a go-to of mine, but it's something that I know I'll enjoy when I play it. It's got some good stuff on it. That's probably as much as I can say. As far as a rating, I'd probably give it like a 6, maybe a 6, or a very light 7 or something, 6 or 7. It's not his best, but it's definitely not his worst, and it's a lot of fun. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a higher grade is because I wish there was a little more of a different sound going on with some of the songs. It's kind of the same song over and over again. It's the same like approach. I mean, they recorded it over a couple of months in France, so I mean they had time to like flesh these things out. But I feel like if there was a little bit more something else happening, like I like that Sorrow was on this one because you get that nice break. If there was like another one of those, I think I'd probably give it a higher score, and maybe would have changed out like Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere, or Shape of Things or something. Just my opinion. I'd probably give it a 6. It's a good album. It's Bowie. It's awesome. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Giggens. This has been David Bowie. That's Twiggy. That's Bowie. That's me. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been Album Reviews, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Love on you, Bowie.